What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest behind-the-bar reviews for 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 338, and my god... okay, so I got actually probably my most disliked video at 60% likes, with, roughly in the 40%. I am on the higher tier, but I've gotten more dislikes on my last chapter review for 7 Deadly Sins, 337, than I think any other video. Any other well-watched video, at the very least. And I'm trying to figure out why. I really am, because I have been watching other people's reviews. Maybe it was my my tone. Maybe it was my matter-of-fact attitude towards it or something. But I brought up similar and same points as a lot of other reviewers, Keisha Prime, Sundown Rider, etc. And so far, as I know, their videos didn't have as much hate as my video did. Now, and I can't find a single person that argued with a single point that I made with any, I don't know, it just seems that I got a lot of hate for what I believe are very valid points. We were in Retcon City last chapter, and this chapter, well, boys and girls, if that one didn't get enough dislikes, let's get started. Yes, let's get started, because, also, I bought a new volume yesterday, so there we go. Let's showcase volume 35. Good volume. Alright, so, first off, thankfully, this one actually, it's not as bad because we didn't try to pull Sosuke Aizen with no build-up this chapter. And we didn't try to explain away why Merlin was broken sometimes and why she didn't help other times when she clearly could have. This is all meant, and it's something I didn't really bring up in the last review. All this retcon, all this let's make Merlin the next Aizen thing, all that did was trying to explain a way to retcon why Merlin was helpful sometimes and OP and broken and whatever word you want to use, a game shark sometimes, but then not other times. The inconsistency of her power constantly throughout the story, that's what this was trying to do. I think anyways. And that's still bad. It's just still bad. But it's something that Sundown brought up when I watched his review a couple days ago, and yeah, it's still not good what they did, because it doesn't explain away a million other things. But here there are two issues. Well, there's multiple issues, but there's two major issues. Number one, we continue off. We don't jump away or anything. We stay with the cast. Merlin and Meliodas are arguing all about this stuff, and then is that right? Did you try to kill Elizabeth? Did you try to do this? Did you try to do that? All to awaken. Something that Sundown also brought up, and I brought up, was the fact of the matter is that she tried to revive a being, this chaos being, that it once again makes no goddamn sense that Meliodas and Elizabeth, basically the heirs to the gods of the demon and goddesses respectively, and now we know they are actually creator gods. If you establish that, you're telling me that they didn't know anything, but apparently the humans did. The elders of Belial in the city, which were whispering about it, that's how Merlin overheard about chaos. It's absolutely ridiculous, but she even brings up, or Meliodas brings up the fact to Merlin to say, you know what? How do you know that this thing is even going to help you? You are gambling with this. This has all been a ploy. You have done all these things to lead up to revive an entity that you don't even know what type of power or what it's going to be capable of or what it is going to do. And, yeah, good point. As I said, Sundown brought this up more heavily than I did in the last review, in his review, but this one is nailing it on thick. Meliodas is us, the audience, going, this plan was stupid, and it has no guarantees. Like, you're telling me you planned 3,000 years for all these things, and I've got so many problems with the requirements to revive chaos. Like, why specifically the Demon King? the retcon with the fact that the Supreme Goddess and the Demon King were sealed. What does that mean? Is the Supreme Goddess out? Where is she? If she's not in purgatory, did she get sealed in her own home or something? Is there another realm, like a goddess version of purgatory or something? Like, anyways, point is, because we're going to be here all day if I keep rambling on about all the problems with the last chapter melding into this one. So, pretty much, that's what Meliodas is complaining about. The lake's basically like, chaos. You are acquainted with chaos. You've been riding on its back the entire time. And now, finally, we get the connection here with Mama Hawk. The problem lies with the simple fact that, okay, now she's suddenly dead. But she's not dead. She was never Mama Hawk to begin with. She was never a pig. It was layers upon layers upon layers of moss. I mean, the fact of the matter is, King basically goes up and smells it almost instantly, as though this was never noticed before. Okay, let's not even get into the nitpicky things about how that seems a little far-fetched. Not the Pokemon far-fetched, but the real far-fetched. And, okay, not only that, but it has been established that Mama Hawk had a connection to chaos, this mother of chaos, for a very long time. We questioned what this was. Was it an in-between god? Like you had the balance and the chaos with, Demon King and Goddess Clan and stuff, and she was like the glue. She was the linchpin, the Soul King in Bleach, the balance, the gray area. Basically the Force in Star Wars. You had dark and light side of the Force, but then there was just the Force as a true essence sort of idea, right? All of that. We had multiple theories. We thought multiple discussions. Like, what is Mama Hawk? It was confirmed she was the mother of chaos, even though the movie's non-canon. Used that as a very here, Mama Hawk is the mother of chaos sort of idea. Now, apparently, Mama Hawk does not exist at all. Chaos doesn't actually have a physical form. There are so many questions. Okay, first off, apparently, chaos does not actually ever have a physical manifestation. So Mama Hawk never truly existed. No, wait a minute. Okay, she never had a physical manifestation. Then what was Mama Hawk? Mama Hawk was a physical pig. Everybody knew it. And you can go back and showcase me. I don't care if it was an illusion magic or some Gother bullshit. Mama Hawk had a tongue, eyes, made noise, ate fireballs and stuff. Mama Hawk was a living being. I don't care if it was a shell or something. That was a physical manifestation. And now, the moment chaos left Mama Hawk is just moss. So you can't convince me that that is not a physical manifestation. It's already an issue with the dialogue here. It might be explained better later on or something with the official or something, but that's topsy-turvy on its own. That's confusing at the very least. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Number two, that they say that the Demon King and Supreme Goddess somehow, we don't get details on this. Once again, this is where you get a little bit of information just so that Nakaba can go, oh yeah, Coffin of Eternal Darkness. I never said it just sealed away the Ten Commandments. It sealed away the Demon King and the Supreme Goddess too. Oh, I tacked that on last chapter. People are not upset about it for some reason, but I certainly goddamn am. Because, I didn't tell you it only sealed away the Ten Commandments of the Demon Race, so it sealed away anybody I want 500 chapters later. That's totally cool. That's fine. That's good writing. Yeah, good on you. So, this whole thing is a problem. So, apparently the Demon King and Supreme Goddess sealed away something that wasn't chaos, but wasn't Mama Hawk, on the sole evidence that Mama Hawk is not a physical manifestation. Even though I don't know how else you can see this, because then we get Tom Brady and the New England Patriots in this bitch. We get deflating Mama Hawk. We get Mama Hawk is one big ass football and starts deflating just like Tom Brady in a Super Bowl game. It's just, it's actually funny. It's honestly hilarious. We see Mama Hawk dead eyes. Everyone's like, what are you talking about? This is chaos? Well, no, it's actually not chaos. It's physical manifestation of chaos. But there is no physical manifestation of chaos. Now a pig turned into moss and was never a pig to begin with, when it was clearly a pig to begin with. And now it just starts like those bouncy castles and shit that you order for kids that are rich and stuff. I never had one, but you know, for a kid's 7th birthday party from rich families, they get the big renting bouncy castles, right? And then you see the whole thing like collapse on itself, like the circus tent in Dumbo. That's what happens to Mama Hawk. And it's hilarious because then, after that, King goes up and says, but this is just layers and layers of moss. I don't care how much layers of moss Mama Hawk might have been created out of. First off, you'd notice. Second off, even if you didn't, moss does not deflate like that. Moss does not act like a goddamn balloon. This is just absolutely ridiculous. It was actually laughable. Once I read that, I started laughing and I said, I don't care what happens in the rest of this chapter. The series has actually hit bottom. It's below, like let's just move everything down here. Why don't we just move everything, you know? Like, it's actually hit the bottom that it could. Nakaba doesn't even care anymore how ridiculous he's making stuff anymore. He does not care. He clearly doesn't. He doesn't want to end the series because clearly the money or something, because I just don't know what's happening here. So how many dislikes have I gotten so far? We're like 10, 11 minutes in. We're about halfway through the review now. You know, guys, I always break it halfway through, reread the chapter, make sure I didn't get any points missed. And I'm just wondering how much hate I'm going to take on this video now. I'm curious. I really am. Is it because that I'm, as far as I'm aware, one of the more watched, like lately my videos seem to be getting up in views, but as a result I'm getting more flack because there's more views? I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, I'm curious. I want to know. Let's toast to all the dislikers right now. If you made it this far and you're still going to hit dislike, this is for you. Not this glass. I like this glass. I got this for my birthday from my brother. I got a Dragon Ball Z beer drinking glass, you know, because nerdy and manly all in one glass. Yeah. Alright, so the one thing I did miss that I still wanted to point out was I already talked about the fact that apparently the Demon King Supreme Goddess somehow found something that is a will and can't be found. It's got a physical manifestation. So they found and sealed something. Where's it sealed? How is it sealed? What did they actually seal that two gods would mistaken for chaos, their creator? You know, no offense, but if I find something that I believe, like regardless of religion, whatever you believe in, that's fine. But if I literally found, like, God, pick a religion. If I found what I believe to be God, like, if it wasn't God, which apparently what the Demon King Supreme Goddess didn't seal away, but there was something that was so grand, so great, that you had no doubt in your mind that that thing was God. And think about it for a second, that you're like, you know, the power of the Demon King and Supreme Goddess. You are a creator God on your own merit. And now you're going to tell me that they thought that this thing, whatever they sealed away, was their creator. My question is, what did they seal then? I want to know. That's what's intriguing about this entire chapter. What did the Demon King Supreme Goddess think they sealed away? What was actually sealed away? And that's way more interesting than this crap. But I want to know. Post down in the comments below. What did they actually seal away? I mean, they could easily like write it off like, oh, it was just an illusion created by chaos, so that they thought they sealed chaos away or something, some Deus Ex bullshit like that. But I'm more curious as to, is there a third body at work here? You know, chaos has kind of like lost all my credibility that I wanted chaos to have. But like, is there a fourth body at work or something? I don't know. Either way, I'm more curious about that than anything else in this chapter. Now, the rest of it goes on, and as I said, I kind of gave up with the whole Mama Hawk deflating thing, and apparently it's layers of moss. That was just actual comical. Like, I would buy that in One Punch Man, which has a lot of satire elements into it, right? I would buy it in One Punch Man, where there are some parody elements of the shonen genre and stuff like that. I'd buy it in One Punch Man, and I would get a chuckle out of it and move on. I wouldn't complain about it. Here, it's supposed to be taken seriously, and it's just hilarious, because then after this, everyone's like, oh my god, what's going on? And then Merlin and Meliodas start fighting back and forth about what's actually happening, what's going on. Arthur gets in the middle and basically says that apparently Mama Hawk, once again, was not a physical manifestation, but still was chaos. And all of what was in Mama Hawk, which was chaos, is now inside of Arthur. Another physical manifestation. I mean, you could call it a vessel if you want, but if he's the king of chaos and he's got literal chaos, the will of chaos inside of him, I mean, by definition, I'm just saying. Either way, so now he's the king of chaos and all that stuff. And Meliodas says, what about Arthur's will? What if it takes over? Blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And then he basically gets in between them and says, stop fighting guys like the Seven Deadly Sins are my heroes. They're who I look up to. You not only saved Britannia now, but you were my heroes way before this. Seven Deadly Sins is who I aspire to be and who I want, to be the heroes sort of idea. And he talks about being a king and what a burden it is and how impossible. This wouldn't be a bad speech, except for the fact that it's ruined by the actual overall tone of these last couple of chapters and the waste of, but overall, this is actually a good speech for Arthur. It's basically saying that he didn't think he was fit to be a king. He didn't know how to rule. He was very afraid and stuff. A very human, once again, human emotions. And that goes back to the whole, can people from other races, like can the Seven Deadly Sins actually understand Merlin? It's like, yeah, first off, Meliodas is the most human-like demon of all of you. Second off, Bon and Escanor are human. They are. Then you have Arthur, another person who now is the king of chaos, reality warping, broken Arthur. Yeah, they can totally understand Merlin. Like, that was a bunch of bullshit too. But anyways, the point of the matter is that here, when he's talking this speech about being a king, and then Merlin gave him like the idea, like, just then if it's impossible, then be a king that can make the impossible possible. And I'm sitting back here going, okay, so now we're going to steal Moolah Flogga lines from Gundam Seed. Okay, the man who can make the impossible possible. I'm sitting back going like, it'd be good if this was good, and I'd be like, an ode to Moolah Flogga, one of the best Gundam Seed characters. I'd be like, alright, cool, awesome. But now it just feels cheapened and stolen, Like, I don't really like the whole believe it or any of that stuff from Naruto or that stuff anyways. But at this point, if any of the characters said something like that, I would still be pissed, even though I'm not a Naruto fan, because it's not a homage. It's just blatant, like, how many, can I grab at something? Like, it's just kind of annoying me now. It's not annoying, it's irritating. It's just irritating, and I'm looking right through it, and I'm not impressed. I'm not like, cool homage or something like that. It's not cool. It just feels cheap. Now that they've cheapened that, the king that can make the impossible possible. But nonetheless, I'm getting off track here, because this is not a bad speech. It's a good point. It's very human. It's very emotional. And I do like Arthur's reasoning and his speech and stuff. It makes a lot of sense. Merlin pulled him out of a bad place in the same kind of way that Escanor, was able to turn into his daytime form. He's like, that's what, his belief and his faith in Merlin and all that stuff. It's like, okay, this is fine. Then, here's where the more, oh, man. Like, this wasn't set up. First off, where's Nanashi? The only character who seemed to know a goddamn thing about this stupid cat with no arms and legs. Okay, so first off, you have Cat showing up, and he's like, oh, Arthur, I'm so glad you're alive, and stuff, tears in his eyes, and Arthur's like, hey, yeah, come here, Cat, it's been a while. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's the cat from the Druid's training cave. First off, so many questions. Number one, what the hell was it doing there? Number two, why didn't anybody go, why didn't the goddesses, why didn't Zena and whatever sit there and go, you got that thing out of a cave? We didn't allow those type of monsters in our cave. What is that? Nobody questioned this goddamn thing. Nanashi, the only character who seemed to know a goddamn thing about this cat, was like, yeah, and all of a sudden, he's nowhere to be found. He hasn't been seen for this whole arc. He's the most interesting character left, and now we haven't seen him in years. And it's just like this is the time for Nanashi to be in here and be like, be afraid of that cat, or be scared of that cat, or that cat has the plan. Something. At this point, the cat might as well be Sosuke Aizen. No, Merlin's Aizen, so now we need an Urahara to combat, so it must be Cat, Anyway, so this thing jumps in the arms. The lake's like, oh, that is... Nakaba, at this point, we don't care. Don't mystify it. Just tell us what this thing is supposed to be from Arthurian legend. Apparently, that was like the ultimate beast, the cat, the Gunhild or whatever. That thing was the beast that actually ultimately killed Arthur Pendragon in the mythologies. But the way Arthur died, similar to the way Excalibur was discovered, has multiple different tales on top of it. So, I mean, sure, but I don't know. I don't know. The lake seems to know what this thing is. We don't find out what it is. Somehow, this thing that got bodied by Cusack, low diff, managed to eat the arm with everybody around, with Merlin, the lake, the 7 deadly sins, or the six deadly sins now, all standing there. And somehow this thing, jumping into the arms, manages not only to, like Meliodas realizes in time, and boom, grabs Arthur, but this thing that got bodied by Cusack managed to cut off clean and start eating the arm of the supposed King of Chaos. Okay. So let me get this straight. We were fighting gods at this point, and now we're told we have the god of the gods all inside of Arthur at this point. And we see he's reality warping things in his speech, creating this mushroom kingdom or whatever the hell he's doing, Alice in Wonderland called. They want their kingdom back. And then this thing jumps in and eats. Like, I'm trying to reason it. I'm trying to say, well, yeah, but like, if it's the same idea as Mama Hawk, like Derriere managed to actually get a shot in on Mama Hawk and send her flying eventually. But we are talking here, the inconsistency here, because we're talking the god of the gods. We're talking the god of the Demon King, the one who created the Demon King. And then the Demon King created all the powerful characters. All the powerful characters were created by the thing inside of Arthur. Arthur is the vessel, the manifestation of the thing that created everything in Taizan. By proxy, at the very least. And this random goddamn cat with sharp teeth and no arms and legs, this little ball, this fucking wannabe Digimon, comes out, opens its jaws, and eats a limb off of this being. Okay. And this is the same thing that got bodied by Cusack. Low diff. But it can eat an arm of... Like... I don't know. And now the whole thing is, Chaos is going to turn on us because we are going to see what just a fragment of Chaos is capable of. We all need to run now. This thing is probably more dangerous than the Demon King's 500th battle and return against the 7 Deadly Sins. So, apparently Kath has some motivation to stick to Arthur and never eat him before. Now eats him, whatever. I guess it was after Chaos the whole time. Instead of trying to eat Mama Hawk, decided to try to eat Arthur. Okay. And now it did that. It ate Arthur's arm, and I'm sure Arthur, with his new broken god tier abilities, can just recover his arm with his reality bending. But I don't know, guys. I just don't know. What do you guys think of this? Like, honestly, I gave up once Mama Hawk deflated. You know, I just had to laugh. So after this, like, I've read this chapter a couple times. Read it last night when I first read it. Now I'm reading it a few times here to do the review. And I'm sitting here just going, like, I don't even know what to make of it. It's actually tiresome to either get mad. Like, I'm not even passionate enough to get mad anymore. Like, Nakaba has had so many tries, and then we're going to forgive him, or I'll forgive him for making another chapter like the Escanor Death chapter in another, let's say, at the end of February. He'll make that chapter, and I'll be like, damn, all the faults of the series, but Nakaba, he did good this chapter. This was good. And somehow I'll actually expect that to continue. He has done that 3 or 4 times since chapter 299 up till now. And each time I think maybe we're on a better track now. But I'm not forgiving him anymore. Nothing is going to be good anymore. There might be standalone moments. There might be cool power-ups. There might be a good chapter. But none of it can be forgiven because he's warped the story so terribly that it's not even good. The inconsistency and the power scaling and just the lack of passion and the lack of caring for his own creation is just abysmal at this point. It's disappointing, it's disrespectful, it's abysmal. I don't know. I'll continue to review it to the end because I don't think it's lasting much longer. I keep saying that. I don't know. What magazine posts this? Because I think this must be their forerunner. It's the only reason it's not canned already. If this was in Shonen Jump, it would have been canned. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to... this video is going to get disliked, so fuck saying like. Just dislike the video. Tell me why I'm wrong down below. Tell me why I'm too harsh, and tell me why, oh no, if you go back to this chapter, that chapter, this is actually explained. No, it's not. It's vague words that he's used, like the fairy realm thing. It's vague words he's used one time in one guidance, and then we don't even know where the fairy realm is. It's never really explained. There's a reason that even the Wikipedia doesn't even have, for example, a thing on the fairy realm. Like this whole sacred tree thing that I had to argue in the last chapter review. I was just like, yeah, but like if he doesn't establish it, he can't pull it out of his ass 300 chapters in. It's the same with the Coffin of Eternal Darkness. Just because he never told us the Demon King and Supreme Deity were locked in it as well, doesn't excuse the fact that this has been, the Coffin of Eternal Darkness has been a thing since the beginning of the series. You can't say, oh, well, I never said that they weren't sealed because of that thing. 300 chapters later. You can't do that. That's just bad writing. That's, I ran out of ideas, I caught myself in a plot hole, and rather than try to do something else, I'm just gonna, it's not even Deus Ex. He literally retcons. He just retcons. He's retconned everything. Like, I know that retcons happen. They happen all the time in series, but at least the author tries their best to not make it so obvious. Nakaba just doesn't care. Nakaba doesn't even try the old Deus Ex trick. The Deus Ex Machina to get him out of making a retcon or an inconsistency. No, he just ignores what he wrote before, back in the first arc, the second arc, third arc, or what he said, and he just goes, oh yeah, well, this is the real truth the whole time. That's just bad writing. That's lazy. No, that's not what it is. It's not bad writing, it's lazy writing. It's not checking your own work, not realizing what you've said before, and then the fans just argue back and forth in Reddit and comment sections and Discords and all this. I'm done. Alright, so hit the bell notification. You guys want to know when I drop a video. Discord link will be in the description box down below. As I said, I expect to get, if the last one barely passed the 50% of likes versus dislikes, I'm sure this one will be the same idea. So let's try to keep it on the positive side, though. Let's try to go like 51% likes. Like, let's keep it above the 50. Let's keep the likes up. But unfortunately, I think this is just going to go from bad to worse. So, yeah, I don't expect a chapter like the 337 to be as bad for a little while, but none of this is making any of the fans happy, in my opinion. So, anyways, guys, that's it for now. Drink responsibly as always. We'll see you back here next time for chapter 339. See ya.